How should I do this? This answer the most.
Sorry?
You're in the monitoring profession. So it's like, would I have a language? And that could be changed, that is being important. They have to go to be motivated. That's why I must know.
All right. So you need to know what will motivate your employee.
What can motivate the employee in order to accommodate the
Change that is coming. All right, yes. Okay, so next is rewards and punishment. This is, let me see. Yeah, so rewards and punishment. We are still under what motivates or what why people embrace and resist change, right? Yeah, so we are looking at the first one. We looked at, for us to understand what embracing why people embrace or resist to change, we have to look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So now we are going to look at rewards and punishment. Yeah, so in the past, people were experimenting on animals to look at their behavior. Yeah, so early experiments with animal models were based on simple ideas about modifying behavior using schedules of reward and punishment. So rewards were usually food items during when they were doing their experiments, and punishment, mild electric shocks or cold water. So according from those experiments, you remember there's this other theorist who came up, who did an experiment on dogs and food. Who is that one?
Dogs and food.
Yeah, so he did an experiment on a dog. What he was doing was, before he gives a dog his food, he would ring a bell, I think. So he would ring a bell and then give the dog his food. Yeah. So after a while, just by ringing the bell, the dog would come saliving with a lot of saliva. Right? So I think those are that is one of the experiments that we are talking about here. Could some behaviors, if you link a certain behavior and like the way the person was linking the behavior of bringing food to the dog with the bell. So the dog, just by hearing the bell, he was thinking, good, oh, okay, there's food. Right? So even when there's no food, the dog was still salivating, so just by So the dog was salivating by just the sound of the bell, even though the food was not there. I don't know if you get me. Right? Okay. Yeah. So from those experiments, it can be summarized that specific behavior that is rewarded tends to be repeated more frequently, but when the pattern is of rewarding the behavior is withdrawn, frequency tends to reduce. Right? So you ring a bell, you give the dog food. Okay, so tomorrow you ring maybe for 10 days you are ringing a bell, you're giving the dog food. But after 10 days you are just ringing the bell, the dog is coming, salivating. Right? Tomorrow you are just ringing the bell, the dog will come as bangaso with saliva. But after a number of days with just the bell, asia, because you will know the bell is not coming with food anymore. Yeah, so that's why we're saying with a specific behavior that is rewarded tend to be repeated more frequently, but when the pattern of rewarding the behavior is withdrawn, frequency tends to reduce. So if you meet your targets, we are going to give you a bonus, right, by the end of the year. Next year you meet a target, you will give you a bonus. The following year you meet your target, we don't give you a bonus. So maybe another so the following year you meet your target, we don't give you a bonus. Chagachina, you not even meet the targets.
Be like, don't give me a bonus.
Yeah, they're not giving me a bonus. Yeah, so that was one of the conclusions. The other conclusion is that if a particular behavior is rewarded only sometimes, say one time in 3, the frequency of behaviors tends to increase more slowly. But it also dies away more slowly when the reward schedule is withdrawn. So if a particular behavior is rewarded only sometimes, so if you do something maybe today will not reward you. The same thing you do tomorrow will reward you. The next day you do it, we don't reward you. The next day we don't reward you. And the next day we reward you. So the frequency of behavior tends to increase more slowly because you are not assured, but okay, if I do this behavior, am I going to be rewarded? So it tends to increase more slowly, but it also dies more slowly when the reward schedule is withdrawn. So once you withdrawn the reward schedule, then it dies. Yeah, so the other conclusion is that punishment associated with specific behavior tend to reduce frequency of that behavior. So punishment associated with the specific behavior tend to reduce the frequency of that behavior. So if someone does a certain, shows a certain behavior, and then you punish that person, the person tends to reduce the frequency of that behavior, but less strongly than rewarding an alternative behavior. Clearly, this way of thinking is associated strongly with the psychological or safety need. So this way of thinking is associated strongly with this physiological and safety need. So this behavioristic approach to rewards schedules tend to lead to a simplistic view of how to get people to behave in a particular way. Reward it or punish the alternative. So here we're just saying, for someone to behave in a certain way, you need to reward or you punish that person. So punishment can be removing something, like removing a bonus. For example, in banks. So if you have a difference in that materials, if you have a difference like a shortage or an overage, notice some banks, they don't give you a bonus by the end of the year. So that is a punishment, right? So the person will work extra hard so that he should not have a difference the whole year, so that he should get the bonus. And then the other reason why people embrace or resist to change can be explained by using expectancy theory.
kind of theory when you said,
Yeah. Yeah, so expectance theory, you have heard about this. Him, I'm very sure he have heard of this theory because I'm the one who taught him. Kambirimbiri. I think this is the fourth time we are meeting, eh? This is the fourth time we are meeting. We met human resource management, HR, yes. I think this is my fourth time meeting. Yes. So expectancy theory. So expectancy theory, yeah, so this theory also looks at human motivation. So this is called expectancy theory. So the idea is that motivating force to do anything is motivating force to do anything is a function of three things. I need you to understand these three things. So expectancy theory. So motivating force to do anything is a function of three things. The first thing is November, no fun. Yeah, so motivating force to do anything. Motivating force to do anything is the function of three things. Number one is how much I value a particular outcome. How much you as a person value a particular outcome. Number two, how strongly I believe that my effort will lead to a good performance. And number three, how strongly I believe that good performance by me will lead to rewarding outcome. Wait. Okay. Yeah, so expectance theory. So according to expectance theory, people measure fairness of their work outcome in comparison with what others felt in equity. Let me come again. When people measure the fairness of their work outcome in comparison with others, felt inequity is a motivating state of mind. So people are going to compare their work outcomes with other people's fairness of their work outcomes and other people's fairness. Other people's outcome. All right. So basically, people will check how you are treating Antoinette when they have done the same job and how you are treating them. Okay. So, for example, Frank doesn't come to class, doesn't write assignments. By the end of the day, he passes it, and then Rumbani comes to class every day, writes his assignments, and then basically right? So Frank or Tingweno do basically right? But then even though he has passed, he will feel good it's unfair because he doesn't write assignments, but he has passed. Okay? Yeah. So Vroom proposed three variables to account for this. So that is variancy, expectancy, and instrumentality. So the strength of tendency to act in a certain way depends on the strength of the expectation that the act will be followed by a given outcome. So what motivates you to act in a certain way way is what you are expecting from the outcome. You act in a certain way because you're expecting something to come out of it. And also on the attractiveness of that outcome. Yeah, so from the expectancy theory, Vroom believed that work effort, performance, and work-related outcomes, manager must know three things. Those are the things that managers need to know. So, yeah. So managers must know three things. Effort, so the first one, how much I value a particular outcome. I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm reading this, I'm sorry. Yeah, so the first one is that the probability that exerting a given amount of effort will lead to a performance. So the person feels good if that person puts a lot of effort in something, it will lead to he or she is going to perform. Okay, that's the first one. So the second one is how strong I believe that my effort will lead to a good performance. Okay, so this is a bit confusing. Let me just. Because it's as if we are repeating the same thing, right? Yeah. So second is